was really quite personal, because I felt that, despite what we have typically, the way we've traditionally thought about personality traits and their stability, it seems intuitively reasonable to me that personality traits might be changeable in adulthood, and perhaps our traits continue to grow and develop as we age. And the question about whether something's intuitively reasonable is one thing, of course. We're also key to understand about whether it is empirically and conceptually reasonable, and that's what I'll deal with in the talk to some extent. But more than that, what I'm going to do is talk about the implications of this kind of thinking for what we do as occupational psychologists, and what we can do to apply the thinking from this emergent area of research. And I'm going to do that in 4 main parts. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to argue that we need to move from a static to a dynamic view of personality traits and criteria. This will be the first proposition that I build. And next, I'll present the evidence base for personality development and change through life. All of the individual listed studies, okay, are concerned with personality development and change in the general population. So all of these are proposing the ways in which personality might develop in general. And many of these studies present empirical data of these effects, which is remarkable when you think that the paradigm for personality trait studies has been that traits are stable. So there's a disincentive to really capture repeat measures of personality in these studies. So the fact that we've got data that are showing these developmental effects is really quite remarkable. There have also been 3 integrative reviews, which include our own in 2013, a new paper in Journal of Vocational Behaviour, and also the work of Tasselli, Kilduff and Landis. So these are integrative reviews that you can refer to, which look at the evidence base for personality development and change. In the clinical literature, the idea of therapeutic change, of course, isn't new. So we propose 2 pathways, which are both initiated by the transaction to begin with and trait activation. When traits fit demands, then those traits would be expressed in behaviour and strengthened, deepened, reinforced as a consequence. And this is the corresponsive process I described earlier. This is the mechanism that is described. However, when traits do not fit demands, then an alternative pathway is triggered. So earlier, in trait activation theory, rewards were highlighted as having an impact on work behaviour, the attainment of job-related rewards. So here, trait-consistent behaviour might be moderated and replaced if it is incompatible with the attainment of rewards. So again, think about the example I gave of being in a customer-facing role. For the person low on agreeableness and extroversion, from my reading, this definition is about learning and developing, and also about feeling good about doing so. So learning, growing and feeling good about the direction that is taking. Now, at the risk of presenting too firm a position at a psychology conference, I'd say that I'd propose that this is simply incompatible with a static view of psychological characteristics. I feel the way in which we position thriving here is not compatible if we have a static view of psychological characteristics. And I'd actually go a little bit further. I think, based on my experience of this area of research over the past years, I think that sometimes we have over-assumed and overemphasised stability in our work as psychologists. We've over-assumed the stability of the things that we measure.